In this video, I'm going to talk about a wish list of software changes. So when I speak about software changes, I don't mean anything like hardware change, let's say better seats or better handling or something like that, because that will usually require some hardware to be replaced. But I'm talking about software that most likely can be fixed by an update or two. So yeah, let's start. My wife has been complaining a lot because every time I leave the car when she's sitting here, and I close the door, the screen, and everything goes off. Let's say, the heater or the air conditioning goes off, and she has to constantly tap on the screen. And many times I have to exit the car, I close the door, and then I open the back door, I unload some stuff or I load some stuff, and then I close it again and open the rear door. And every time I do that, every time she taps on the screen and I open the door again, and then it goes blank. So it's a bit annoying. So I would assume that people with kids also have the same problems, that maybe they want to go to the store or buy something, maybe at the gas station, and they want to leave the kid in the car for, let's say, 10 minutes. And on a hot summer's days or in the winter, it could be a bit cold or hot depending on weather. So maybe you want to keep the air conditioning running for half an hour. So there should be a button for it. Yeah. Or even better, there's already a sensor on the passenger seat. So why can't the car just figure out that there's someone there sitting there? So don't shut off the heater. Okay, next one is camper mode. So many people, they claim that I'm the one who invented camper mode, but I'm not the one. I just heard about it, and I made it famous. But anyway, the camper mode is what I call it. Is you keep the car in a running state where you can sleep in the car or whatever you want to do in the car. But usually after half an hour, the heater or the air conditioning goes off if you don't touch any buttons. So if you want to sleep, for instance, take a rest or sleep overnight, you have to constantly tap on the screen, unless you put it on camper mode, which will keep it running all night. So there should be a separate camper mode, because the way we do it, we have to put it in neutral, apply the brake, and then the light, the LED, the front LED light will always be on, which is a bit, it's not. It could be a bit inconvenient at night, I guess. You don't want to attract too much attention. And another problem with camper mode is that it requires you to be unplugged, because you have to put the car in neutral. So it would be useful sometimes to be able to be in camper mode when you are plugged in. And this is not only for sleeping in the back. Let's say on a hot summer day you charge at a slow charger and you just want to take a nap. And yeah, every half an hour we have to wake up and tap it. So that would be really nice. Okay, and yeah, in the app, in the mobile app, you can see the interior temperature. And that's always useful when you want to preheat the car. But sometimes it's also useful to see the interior temperature when you're inside the car. And that's not possible. So maybe it would be an idea to put it on the small screen or the big screen or both of them, or yeah, I don't know. Okay, when we have passengers in the back, they a few times we had that, they complain that it's a bit cold in the back. So I figured it out that there's some heat going to the back, but it seems like this is an issue. So I had Tesla looking at it, and they figured that it's a feature. Yeah, it's supposed to work like that. That the rear seats get less heat. So it's a bit unfortunate. You have to actually set the air condition to some manual state and boost up the fan speed a bit and whatever. So yeah, I guess it's more like it's a feature and maybe a bug fix, that they have to tune the heater to the back somehow. Again, there are sensors, there are weight sensors on the back rear seats, because it will complain if the seat belts aren't buckled. So the car could figure out if there's something in the back, passengers, then, you know, apply some more heat in the back, or even better, you can have it customizable. You want to have more heat in the back or more heat in the front, or even better, you can completely shut off the heat in the back. For instance, if you want to save energy, that could be nice. Okay, next one. I know on my previous car, the BMW, for the seat heaters, you can adjust, you can distribute how much heat you want on your butt or on your back. I rarely use seat heaters, but if those two zones can be adjusted independently, then that would be nice. It's a nice feature. Okay, next thing is wiper sensitivity. So Model S has automatic rain sensor, and that works. Yeah, it works okay, but it's also needs some more tuning. So the two first settings are the automatic ones, and for most of the time when I use them in rainy weather, it either wipes too, it wipes too little, or I have to put it in the third setting, which is constantly. And on other cars I had, a Renault and the BMW, I always found a setting where it was okay. But for me, it's either it's not wiping enough, or I have to do a constant wipe. So that one needs some more tuning. Or maybe even they could set it, they could use the third one as also an automatic setting, and then the fourth one would be the continuous setting or something. I don't know. But yeah, oh yeah, okay, moving on to navigation. This is gonna be a long one. The navigation on the Tesla is great. I mean, you can know places, you can search for a hotel name or whatever, but it still lacks some features. And this is one of the replies you will get from me. Many of you guys ask me why I still use a separate TomTom. Well, it's because the Tesla navigation lacks some features. So let me start. It's a great thing that they implemented favorites a couple of months ago. Yeah, well, actually a while longer, 6 months ago maybe. The problem is that the favorites, they are not visible on the map. Unlike on TomTom, they are shown as stars on the map, and that's really useful. Sometimes, let's say when you want to go on a vacation at some city, and you plotted in your favorites, and you want to know where they are, and it's a bit a hassle if you don't know the positions. Or as for me, I bring stuff. I also plot in favorites to where to pick up items or send items, and I want to know. Sometimes I want to plan where to go, so I don't have to drive back and forth. So it's really useful to know the favorites where they are on the map. Okay, next one is yeah, it's not possible to navigate to any given point. You can't just point at any like dot and any position on the map and say I want to go there. That's possible to do it on Google Maps. It's also possible to do it on a TomTom. And also, when you navigate, you can. They will. Okay, I will use TomTom as an example. That when you navigate to somewhere, you have some options there that you don't have on the Tesla nav, and that is fastest route, which is most of the time default. But sometimes you only want to do the shortest route. Maybe you want to save energy or something. And then you also have some other options for TomTom. It only makes sense because the TomTom is you can detach it from the car and bring it with you. But you have some walking route and stuff. But avoid highway might also be useful. Bicycle route, yeah, you can use it on a bicycle. And then the limited speed is a bit interesting. Sometimes you are limited to a certain speed. Let's say you are towing something. Well, it's not possible for this car, but let's say you for some reason are limited to a speed. You can set the speed. Just say you can only drive at 60 kilometers per hour, and the GPS will figure out a route depending on that. So it will take that in account when it picks roads. Yeah. Okay, what's the next one? No. Oh yeah. Also, Tesla now, you don't have the possibility to navigate from a different start position than the current position, which is also possible on the TomTom. So you can say you want to navigate from any other point that you are currently at to another point, and you will see the distance. That's also sometimes useful when you want to plan ahead, or yeah. And also, when you are traveling from to somewhere, sometimes you want to say that you don't want to take that exact route. You want to visit somewhere, a waypoint on the way there. So that's also not possible with a Tesla now, but possible with TomTom. And also, this is something that comes with the new cars. I'm hoping that the new feature will come on existing cars, because it doesn't require any new hardware. But that's the speed limit based on GPS position. So again, TomTom has it. But the TomTom knows what speed limit is on each stretch of road. The GPS need to know that to calculate time. So why don't it just show the speed limit? You know? And also, on TomTom you can load speed cameras, and that's not available for Tesla navigation. I don't know why. It should be lively updated. Speed camera, and also optional sound when you try to pass a camera and you're driving too fast. So okay, and I mentioned favorites earlier. It's not possible. I mean, the favorites are just there's like they are in the order you enter them. So it's not possible to sort them. Should be possible to sort them depending on, I don't know, distance to favorite, or alphabetically, or I don't know. And it's not even possible to rearrange them. So it's a bit clumsy the way favorites works now. It needs some more tuning, but I guess it's getting there. Yeah. A good thing is the charging points that we see on the map, the points that we have been at. But Tesla should work on implementing charging points you haven't been at. There are lots of databases they can connect to and figure it out, but I guess I'm not sure how to do it. There are many third-party sites out there, like chargemap.com and plugshare.com and whatever. And in Norway we have ladestasjoner, and in Sweden we have uppladning.nu. And I mean, one start could be that other Teslas who have charged somewhere could submit that one to a database. So, and then at least you will get a list of all the chargers other people have used. Of course, you can't know anything else about them, because it has to be what do you call it, anonymous and all that, you know, privacy. Yeah. And but another thing though is that it's really great. I use it a lot, the visited chargers. Sometimes I just want to plug it in somewhere so I can save the position on a charger. But it would be nice that if it showed the highest speed, you know, a little bit more information, because the car gets that when it charges. So you could store that info. I'm talking about at least how many kilowatt you were getting. Was it a 22 kilowatt? Was it at 3.6? Was it 11? Or yeah. So, or even if you could specify that it was a 400 volt, 16 amp, 230 volt, 32 amp, 16 amp, stuff like that. And of course, if this was, like I mentioned before, if this was shared between other users, it would be really useful for them to know the speed, whether they want to visit that point or not. And oh yeah, when I want to charge, I've gotten into the habit now to click on the controls, and then click on open charge port, and then I click on the trunk because I have to get the charge cable. But sometimes I forget to open the charge port, and of course UMC has a button to open the charge port, but when I use Type 2 cable, I don't have that option. Sometimes I have to go back in the car and then open the charge port. And there are third-party remotes out there from eBay or whatever that can open the charge port for you, but you know, that's another item you have to bring along. And it would be nice if you could plug, you could press some key combo on the key fob, let's say three clicks on the roof or something like that, you know, to open the charge port. So that would be really great. Yeah, really nice feature. Oh, this happened to me a couple of times, and also I've seen other people do it. From time to time I will forget to close the charge port, or I see other people forgetting to close them. I help them, say, hey, stop, you don't have to. It's not a big deal, you can drive with open charge port, but I guess it's a bit unfortunate if you're driving through rain and yeah, winter, and either way, you know, you don't want to have too much schmutz in the charge port. There should be a warning similar to seatbelt warning, actually, if you're trying to drive with a charge port open. Okay, when you are charging, you can adjust your current from the car, you know, how many amps you want to draw, but sometimes it would be useful to set that from the mobile app. It's not possible, I don't know why, maybe it's a safety feature or something, but it would be really nice to set that. Yeah. Okay, next one is the rear door. You can save the position of how high you want it to go. It's really nice if you have a tight garage, but wouldn't it be better that it will be dependent on GPS position? So at home, when you have a low garage, it will go just as high as you set it, but as soon as you are outside, it will default to the regular one, which is the highest. Yeah, you know, it's similar to GPS based smart suspension. I don't know if this is a big deal, because as for me, I always have it on the highest anyway. So. The battery heater, yeah. When you are using range mode, the battery heater doesn't start. When you preheat the car, you will only preheat the interior, the cabin. You won't preheat the battery. But with the range mode off, the battery heater will be active. But it would be nice to independently preheat the battery, or maybe sometimes you don't want to preheat. So maybe a separate option for that would be great, either from the car or from the app or both. And on regular cars, internal combustion cars, many cars, they show you the engine temperature. And I guess for us geeks, it would be nice to know the battery temperature. Yeah, sometimes I want to know if it's freezing cold there or if it's getting there. So it's not a must, but it's nice to know, you know. Yeah, and today I received a minor update. I don't know what the heck it was, because most of the time it doesn't say anything. It just want to update, and then when I update, I try to look in the new features, and it doesn't. I mean, it only shows the last major update, 6.0. It doesn't show the small bug fixes or whatever. So, actually, a couple of days ago, yeah, after I got the car back from the service center, they did update it, and it had some significant features. They actually rearranged some of the menu, the settings. For instance, they moved. Let me see. I have to look again. Well, they have a suspension in a separate tab now, and they moved the range mode to be in the driving tab, and so they did some nice improvements. So at least they should have a change log where I can read about it. So maybe they want to do it. They want to keep it simple because they guess that most people don't want to have it too much advanced or too complicated. But you know, there are advanced users out there who want these features. As for me, I drive at night a lot, and well, not a lot, but yeah, there's some night driving, and at least in Norway, we have winters, long winters, and the days are, I mean, the days are short and the nights are long. So actually, right now we have 15th of December. It's close to the darkest day each year, which is the 21st December, and around there it can get, well, it's dark until like 9 in the morning, and then yeah, it gets bright, and then around 3 or 4 in the afternoon it's dark again. Yeah, so anyway, it would be nice to have a night mode where you can just switch off the screen. This is, I guess it's a bit inspired by Saab, because they have some similar feature. If you can put it in night mode when you're driving on pitch dark road, everything will be black. The main screen, 17-inch screen, will be dark. The small screen will still be active like it is. And sometimes you want to check GPS, you want to check radio, whatever, you can just tap the screen and maybe it will stay active for 10 seconds, or I mean, as long as you keep tapping it, it will stay active for a given time you want, and then it will go blank again until you exit the night mode. So that would be really cool feature. Okay, I'm almost to the end now. Yeah, the last one is that I take, let's say, screenshots or whatever. I take photos of the small screen, and other people also do that. Maybe sometimes I want to show off how far I've driven or whatever. But it's I think it's lacking the year. Sometimes I want to see the year. It's like a timestamp, so I know which year I took it. Usually I can find that from the picture, from the EXIF info in the JPEG, but sometimes maybe it's lost. So I guess it's not a big deal. There's still lots of space there to put in a year, so why not? Well, this is all the features I thought of. Software features, again, not hardware features. So I don't know. I didn't ask too many people. This is most of the features I thought of myself. So maybe if you guys have any other features or whatever, you can just comment it. It's nice to have some discussion going.